3, 2, 1, and welcome to the Dave and Albert Show. So we have another question from Savi Ablaza. She says, finding the right clients is probably the hardest thing to do in software consulting.
Yeah.
How do you determine if a client is worth working with?
It's a great question. So typically, I think the way that I view it is I don't actually view like the sales process as a qualification process. I view it as a disqualification process. Now, this is something that I picked up from a pretty big and well-known sales guy, Stelly from Close.io. So you should definitely read up. He's got some great content out there. He has a lot of ebooks that are free. So get more of his content. You can learn a ton. But I think it's a fundamental shift. And the reason that I view it this way is that you're actually looking to be, to almost start from disqualifying your clients. And why is that? Because then you're really critical and you're focused on the areas that might become problems later on. Now, a lot of times that's not the way that we as salespeople or people in the sales department are driven, especially if you're a small firm or a smaller team. You're hustling to get money because you know you have bills to pay. And what ends up happening is that you prioritize your decision making based on your upcoming bills. And so you're just so hungry for money that you overlook the warning signs or the red flags that are there in the relationship. So I think this is super important. Easier said than done. But the way that I keep track of that is I just look for red flags. I look for things that maybe they said something and I didn't understand, and if I push for clarity, they wouldn't engage with me. And so these are things that I like to bring up. Now, we push for a lot of transparency with our clients, and we bring up the difficult things early on in the relationship so that...
Give us an example.
So I think one thing, for example, is like we work on an agile framework, and it's really easy to just throw that out there, and clients are like, yeah, agile, because everyone has heard the buzzword right now. But what that really means is we're not setting a fixed budget, and the project price may continue to grow as we go on and develop. And so we really spell that out right up front, and we talk about our costs, and we post our costs on our website. And these are things that as a service and consulting firm are very non-traditional. And so we like to talk about those things because it can be uncomfortable, and it's the response to that topic that will really determine, is this a good fit for us?
Yeah, I guess it's basically not in a hurry to close the deal, but to make sure that you already are on the same page with your client and they are on the same page with you before you even start.
Yeah. I think you also want to listen to your clients or your potential clients as well. They should be really excited to work with you. And if you're both not really excited, it's probably a reason to question, should we go through with this? I think another good strategy you might try out is, how do you start on a small scale or a small bite-sized like project or something? Is there a way that you could test out the waters, have maybe a 1 to 2 week sprint or something along those lines to just get a feel for what is it like to work with them? And then go from there. Jumping into a big commitment it's risky for both sides.
Yeah, I have nothing much to add. So thank you. So
great question.
If you have other questions or you have comments or feedback, feel free to comment
below
and let us know so we could answer it next time. So thank you.
Thanks,
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.